thegearnetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
What's up, rockers? This is the rockstar Robbie Vegas, professional wrestler and host of the All Bets Are Off podcast. But right now, you're listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, so take it away, Chazz.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Win on one. Oh, win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win it. Hey, a little mixed up in there. Eyes on three. Everything on 3 and 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy. All I do is win, no matter what.
You don't get to play that this week.
Shh, no one's talking to you. You have not been introduced yet. Okay.
I don't care. I was waiting for you to do that so I could say that.
Okay, fine. To my virtual right, we got the no nickname, no nonsense, Adam Van Houten.
What's up, guys? What's going on, everybody? Here we go.
Hey,
all the way down from Nashville.
Back on the podcast after a week off, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's up?
And then, of course, we have got the only one that really got his lock of the week right. We've got the fantasy football surgeon himself.
Hey, like a surgeon.
Zags.
That's not true.
I know you pulled it out at the end. That's true. But what's up?
What is up? What is up, boys? Just want to take a quick second right here. I don't know if you can see, but if you guys want to check out the shirt, I found a way to incorporate my two favorite things, which is being a total nerd and loving football, into this immaculate waiver wire wizard T-shirt.
Love it.
Look at
Love that. That's amazing.
Look at that. Good stuff. So as the kids say, the drip is immaculate.
Get that Ric Flair drip.
You are looking drippy.
Woo!
Do they say that? They say that, right?
So wouldn't just being a nerd and liking football be fantasy football? Like, got to take it to the next level. But that's what we love about you, you surgeon. You take it to the next level.
We take it to the next level. All right. There's a different class. There's people that love fantasy football, and then people that will wear a waiver wire wizard shirt. And I'm taking it to that next level.
Dave's here, or everybody else is here. Dave is here.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it to the next level.
Oh, we all drank at the same time there. That was for the homies. Oh.
Pour one out.
Get your ranch water. I still drinking my Dr. Peppers, and then I know those herbs over there are drinking water.
Listen, some of us try to stay level-headed and take this show seriously. Just saying.
Who?
Oh.
Pickles?
As I sip on my bougie Fiji.
Yeah. This guy pays $25 for a bottle of water.
Anybody do anything special for Halloween? I worked. That's all I did.
So did I. So
yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah, for sure.
Did some Nashville things. Went to a friend's Halloween party for his birthday.
By Nashville things, you mean drank?
That was fun. Yes, drank a lot. Was felt the effects for about 2 days. It's what happens when you are in your mid-30s. Hangovers don't hit the same anymore.
Dave, what scary movies?
Recover as quickly.
What scary movies did I watch? I didn't watch anything, honestly. Me and Chazz were actually talking about this, though. I'm a big fan of like the old movies and
old school slashers.
No, like old movies,
like black and white.
Yeah.
Not like black. Well,
not that far back.
Kind of in that same era, but I watched a movie that I kind of love to watch around Halloween, and it's called The Ghost of Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts. It's such a stupid movie. It's one of those like old school like comedies, so everything is very like elaborate and very like in your face, but it's just kind of like a dumb movie, and I love watching it around Halloween. I don't know why. You guys ever see it?
No,
I have never heard of it.
Same.
Chazz, what did you watch? You went deeper cuts than I did.
Well, we'll show something in a second here, but I watched House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price, and then I watched comedy of terrors with Vincent Price. But I want to show you guys a little bit of my old school collection, if you don't mind. So first thing we got is the Wolfman collection.
Let's go.
Next thing we got is the Legacy collection of Frankenstein.
Yep.
There you go.
The next thing we got is the Legacy collection of Dracula.
Nice.
And the next thing we got is my personal favorite, the Legacy collection of The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Love it.
And the Legacy collection of The Invisible Man.
Damn.
And the Legacy collection of Les Mamies.
Mummy's underrated.
So my favorite out of that troop there is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. But yeah, I like all the old 30s, 40s, 50s ones. They're fun. They had to work hard to bring the fear out of you, just given no special effects really and things like that, and no computer animation. Right. So I am always pro old horror movies. Jay, what about you? Any good horror watching?
No, not really.
Nah. Okay. And Adam was too busy drinking.
Yeah, I was out all weekend, man, and I just didn't have time to sit and watch scary movies. So,
well, we know that host of All Bets Are Off podcast with Robbie Vegas probably watched 42.
He probably spent the entire 5 days of Halloween watching horror movies.
He probably did. That's what he does. That's why we love him.
That's why he's the host of the ABO pod.
BAO. Adam, so how about all those crazy big trades, all those big running backs and big receivers?
all those rumors that came out that said, oh, Derrick Henry could be on a new team. Oh, Saquon Barkley could be on a new team. Oh, trade for Devontae Adams. Trade for this guy. Trade for that guy. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Biggest trades we had were Washington Commanders trading Montez Sweat and Chase Young. And I think Young went for less than Sweat to the Bears, right? I think
makes sense because he's been a little bit of a letdown because
I know he was injured early on for like 2 seasons. I don't think he even played for, right?
Yeah, basically.
Or something like that. So, I mean, I guess.
I think the biggest thing from fantasy football perspective is the trade of Josh Dobbs going to Minnesota, because we were having a little private discussion that you guys were thinking that Minnesota's going to mail it in now and give up and not bring back Double J. But the fact that they're trading assets to bring in a quarterback makes me believe that Double J is going to come back and they're ready to play still. So
I don't know. I just don't see the point of bringing in Josh Dobbs.
Because he's better than whomever that guy is. Because Josh Dobbs, at least fantasy-wise, I believe, and we'll find out shortly, is a top 10 fantasy football quarterback this year. And now he's going to a team with Double J and with T.J. Hawkinson, with Jordan Addison. So could be a.
Well, he's not playing this week.
True, very true. But we need to talk about him, fantasy football-wise. I think he needs to be on people's radars for when he takes over, because he was a top 10 option in Arizona. So the fact that he's really upgrading his team around him, Kirk Cousins was a top 5 option. We'll find out. So I don't know. I think Dobbs should be on everyone's radar.
I do too. I think now's the week to get him, honestly, because he's not starting. So if you don't want to play the waiver wire game, just go ahead and grab him now, because he will be starting by week 10. And he's gonna put up some points. And if you're doing the, if you don't have a top 5 set it and forget a QB, and you're kind of bouncing back and forth between maybe I'll play Prescott, maybe I'll play this guy. If you were sitting there with Deshaun Watson,
Adam's team right now.
I'm just saying, if you're one of those teams where you play quarterback based on matchup,
we're gonna get to my team.
Dobbs is gonna have some good matchups and he's gonna put up some points. So I will say, if you got an empty spot and you're playing that I play 2 quarterbacks, one based on matchup game, you could do a lot worse than having Dobbs on your bench.
And I'll tell you what,
here's their remaining schedule too. They have Atlanta this week. Okay. They don't have a very good defense, but he's not starting this week, so that's kind of a wash. New Orleans, Denver, Chicago, and then they have their bye week, week 13. And you have Vegas, Cincy, Detroit, and Green Bay to finish out the season. That's really good matchups for them. So there could be some points there.
Yeah. And I think it's important to see how Double J is with him, because we've never had the opportunity to see Double J without Kirk Cousins. So,
Yep.
Who knows? I mean, it's not taking away from Double J's talent. Like, obviously he's great, but like, is he going to go down because Kirk is not there to pepper him, or is he even going to go up because Dobbs is there to pepper him more? Right? You just don't know how it's going to be. So. It's the most interesting thing that came from the fantasy landscape on the trade deadline, other than the sneaky underrated move that wasn't a trade, but the Bills signing Leonard Fournette. That is something. Do not sleep on that, folks. Look how much work that they give Latavius Murray. All that work is going to go to Fournette by what, week 12, 13? All that goes to Leonard Fournette. Not saying Leonard Fournette's going to be an RB1, but like the goal line work, catching some passes, protecting Josh out there. Like, Leonard Fournette is a sneaky good signing for these Buffalo Bills. And it's nothing that like we wanted or we're doing backflips for, but I guarantee you by playoff time, whether the Bills are in there or not, people are going to be saying, wow, he did a lot better than I expected.
Playoff Lenny, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just saying playoff Lenny. I mean, he's one of those dudes you could grab right now before people get really hyped on him. And if you got a bench spot where you can stash him, go ahead and stash him, because I can see him easily being a flex play during the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, I just like the fact that they didn't have to go out and spend a whole lot of assets to get a running back of his caliber. Fournette still has some really good years left in him, I think. I mean, I know the Bills aren't really a team that utilizes running back, but they have been this season, so that's really exciting to see. And we didn't have to go give up a second round or a first round pick for Derrick Henry, or multiple first round picks for Saquon Barkley. Like, the Giants were thinking maybe if they were even debating on trading him or not, but that's a really good move for them.
And here's the thing too, like if you're going to talk age wise and stuff, he's in between those two. He's a year younger.
He's not in his 30s yet.
No, he's a year younger than Henry. He's a year older than Saquon. He's 28 years old. And that's when they say that they start to take the downturn. Fine. But he's your second string. You know what I mean? He's not going to tout the rock 30 times a game. That's not what they brought him in. So he's the same age. He's the same age as all these running backs were in the same draft. He was the first running back to come out of this class. And then it went Christian McCaffrey. And then it went Joe Mixon. And then it went Dalvin Cook. And then it went Alvin Kamara. And then it went Kareem Hunt. And a lot of these guys are still productive.
Yep.
And look how awful Tampa Bay is at running the ball now without Leonard Fournette. Absolute awful. So guy still has something left. He's basically had a year off because he kind of shut himself down towards the end of the season last year. Rashad White took over, and he hasn't played a game this year. So, no, I think it's a sneaky good move for the Bills. But we won't focus on the Bills too much. You got anything to say about Lombardi, Lenny, Jay?
No.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll get moving, and we got our new segments rolling, but we're going to start off with a little old school. And all right, okay, Adam.
For a victory.
Yes. You already know what my victory lap is this week, ladies and gentlemen. It is the fact that I absolutely decimated Chazz in the Fantasy Football Bros League the podcast league here. And I only had one player on my team that did not score a touchdown. And that was Michael Thomas. But Dak Prescott was on fire, probably one of the top quarterbacks of the week. CeeDee Lamb was definitely the top receiver of the league for the week. Alvin Kamara kept it rolling, scored a touchdown finally. Just 50-yard bomb to not a bomb, but a catch and run to Breece Hall. It was just a great day for fantasy, and I'm so happy that I don't have to hear all I do is win today. So my victory lap goes out to the absolute annihilation that happened. Almost put up 200 points.
And he did. He put up $190, and I still put up a good 95. Game too. I was about
you did put up a fight, yeah. I mean, you had
50.
Great. 150 is a great score, but it's not going to beat 195.
But literally, it was 10 minutes into the first quarter, and I'm like, okay, Adam, how many points are you going to score today, bud?
Unlimited.
That's just what it felt like.
That's about it.
And I can.
Yeah, it was all 1 o'clock games that happened, and I got a text from Chazz that said, enough.
Yeah, please enough. But the thing is I mentioned this last week. Adam and I have very similar teams in separate leagues, so I had a lot of those same players in another league. So I'm sitting here watching, like, yeah, boo, because everything he
That's
said.
the downfall of fantasy football. You have multiple guys in different leagues, and you're just rooting for everybody. And no, I don't want to play against this guy.
In my big money league, same thing. I started Prescott, Lamb, Brees Hall, and I'm just like, fuck. Sweet at the same time. So it's a good victory lap. You well earned.
I did deserve it.
Well earned. Dave, what are you taking victory laps on?
We'll make this quick because I got to number one. I gotta throw the victory lap out to the one and only. Don't you do
Is he
that
back?
part,
Is he
bro.
back with Will Levis?
Wait for it.
Let's throw the victory lap out to the one and only DeAndre Hopkins, 128 yards, 3 TDs. I said it all along. Just throw it up to the dude. Put it within 4 feet of this guy, and he is going to catch the ball and score touchdowns. And I feel like Will Levis figured that out, or just doesn't care enough about his stats to care if he throws an interception. He's just going to huck it. So let's hope that DeAndre is back.
Totally agree. Before you get to your second one, I think the most impressive part of that is they were all deep balls. All three of his touchdowns were all deep down the field, and it was awesome. And I'm so happy that Vrabel made the right choice to go with Will Levis this week, tomorrow night or tonight, whenever this is going to come out, against the Steelers this week. I'm excited to see this kid play again, and I hope he could do that again.
The rebirth of DeAndre Hopkins.
Could be. I know I was
back, baby. He's back. Let's get him rolling again.
That he's been benched in my league that I have him, and I think Jay
was on my bench last week.
Yeah, he was benched.
I will say, he's my victory lap, but he scored 40 points on my bench. So,
well, you get one of these then. We all had him on the bench, and it wasn't a bad call to put him on the bench either. So
yeah. And real quick, just real quick, number 2, I want to throw out a victory lap to both myself and my brother, who had possibly one of the greatest fantasy matchups that our league has ever had. We ended up with a matchup where we scored close to 350 points, and in my league, that's absolutely insane.
That's half point PPR.
Yeah, it's half point PPR league.
That's a half point PPR.
Half point PPR league. I won the matchup 173 to 154. I had Tua, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Austin Eckler, and George Kittle, and he had Jalen Hurts, Alvin Kamara, Laporta, Gibbs, a whole bunch of. So that matchup was just insane. So quick shout out to you, buddy. Sorry I took the matchup, but what a matchup. That was sick.
He's only a little sorry.
Yeah, I'm only a little sorry, but yeah, sick matchup. So
that's
nice.
And that's the league, man. That is the league that I started off 4-0, and then everybody got fucking sniped out, and I'm 4-4 now. Absolutely ridiculous. I need all 4 of my guys to come off of IR sometime, please.
I will say though, that league is the closest league that I'm a part of right now. I think the top 1 and 11 spots are separated by 2 games, which is absolutely insane. That we're all kind of sitting there around 500. It's a crazy league.
That's pretty much the Fantasy Football Bros League too, I believe. I'm checking on the stats right now, but like the Fantasy Football Bros League. The guy that's in first place is 5-3. The guy that's in 11th place is 3-5.
Yeah.
So like it is just
it's tight, man. It could be anybody's league, really.
So from 1 to 8 is 5-3 and 4-4.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous how that league is. And hey, well, since Dave mentioned it, we'll bring it up real quick. I know we don't like to spend time on other leagues, but since he brought it up, let's just see. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. From Dave is first place at 6-2, and the 10th team is, the 8th team is 4-4. The 9th team is 4-4. So from 1 to 9 is 6-2 to 4-4. So pretty wild.
Good stuff.
Good leagues. All right, Jay. I'm wondering where you're going here.
I don't have anything that's really going well for me in fantasy. I was in first place for so long in both leagues, and my teams are spiraling out of control at this point.
Yes.
But I was gonna go with D Hop and it's perfect timing, spooky season. He crawled his way out of the graveyard to finally do something. So that was gonna be mine.
Okay, fair enough. He's the fantasy football zombie, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah.
Very fair. And also, by the way, crawling themselves out from the dead.
Hey there, little fella.
We'll have to see what's coming up with little fella soon. So my victory lap is something I took a gamble on and worked, and I'm proud of it because I picked him up in 2 very competitive leagues that I needed something, and that is picking up before this week Trey McBride. Zach Ertz going out. Trey McBride being a second-round pick of a tight end last year, and what did he score? 28 points or something like that.
He had a big week
on my bench, of course, but that's fine because he's not on my bench now, probably. So, and I was a little upset first because in the one league I dropped Taysom Hill to pick up Trey McBride. Trey McBride ended up outscoring Taysom Hill, even though Taysom Hill had a big game, and I'm more comfortable with Trey McBride than Taysom Hill. So, moving forward, and plus, like I said.
Hey there, little fella.
Making a comeback soon as well, too. So having Trey McBride in that situation could be beneficial. So I'm taking a victory lap on Trey McBride. So
that's a good. That's a good pickup. McBride is way more comfortable to me than Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is one of those guys where you just never know what you're going to get. He's either going to be the Swiss Army knife that puts up 40 or he's going to put up 2.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And
I agree.
And a minor victory lap of pickup, I know I did it, I know Dave did it, is Darrell Henderson. That guy has been off the couch 2 plus, 12, 14 fantasy point games off the couch. And I think Kyren Williams is still out 2 weeks, so you still might have a couple weeks.
Yeah, he doesn't come back until week 12.
And so he might have worked himself into a starting role too. So, or not a starting role, but a competitive role. So that's a nice little victory lap to look at too. And I know me and Dave both picked him up in separate leagues. So, all right. Well, we flew through that. So let's go to.
Got a swing. Goes down the middle. Slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
All right, Jay. You know where you're going, and I'm going to be fair with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm with you on this one because this is mine too. But go ahead.
Oh, we gotta do it. I mean, get dunked on Josh McDaniels.
Oh,
I mean. He shouldn't have been hired in the first place, and I've been saying it for 2 years, and I'm pretty sure we need someone to go back and check the tapes, but I'm pretty sure I said that he would be gone by midseason, and here we are.
You definitely said that, and I can vouch for that. I remember that. I just don't remember when you said it. I know it was before the season, though. You said midseason for Josh McDaniels.
And I said this, and he said it. He actually said it both seasons. He said it last year. He'll be gone, but it didn't happen. But then he said it this year again, and it did happen. So props to that, Jake. Jay got it.
Yeah, I mean,
here she is.
He's a fucking fraud. I mean, what else is there to say?
Pickles on my pickles.
An appearance. There she is. He's a total fraud. And I said, I mean, I wasn't as the Raiders being my second team. I wasn't jumping the moon excited, but I was like, let's see where it goes. He's building the team the way he wants it. I saw similarities last year between that team and the way he used to build, his teams in New England. And then all of a sudden he trades away Waller. He just doesn't. And then, so, they gave him his chance. He sucks. Gone. Out of there. The offensive coordinator, out of
gone.
There. The GM
gone.
Out of there. Big turn.
I think it's going to be really hard for McDaniels to get another head coaching job.
He's done.
I really do.
Done.
Yeah, he's done.
Dave, what was the conversation that McDaniels had with Tom Brady when he was in New England?
I was sitting in the group chat, just I was like, oh, you know what? Your parents taught you if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm just sitting there watching this group chat, and in my head, I'm just like, dude, I am just ready to unload on McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is the biggest freaking joke in the NFL. I swear to God, this dude has made so much money just riding the ass of Tom Brady to Super Bowls. It's it actually infuriates me. All GMs in the league, forget it. Josh McDaniels is not a head coach. Josh McDaniels, you need to take your offensive coordinator job underneath a franchise quarterback on a long-term deal and just be thankful that you have a job. It's absolutely insane that this dude is still being even thought of as being relevant.
And it's just that he let everything fail under him. Like, to be fair to his team last year, like, he had the number one rushing offense in the NFL last year and the number one, running back in the NFL last year. But, like, everything was gone this year. Everything was gone. Adams is a major shell of his former self. Hunter Renfrow, does he exist?
I don't think so.
Like, it's just
he dropped a couple balls.
It's just so weird. Like, everything fell off a cliff. So, like, last year was a bit of a letdown for me as a Raiders fan, but, like, to still produce the number one running back in fantasy in your first year, there was some hope there. All that hope's gone now, and Mark Davis agrees. So yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels.
He's had 3 head coaching jobs. 2 of them have only lasted like 640 days, and the other one was 8 hours. So, I mean.
Wait, what was the other one?
The Colts, when he was their head coach for like 8 hours until he was like, nah, fuck that.
Right, and that's when they signed Reich?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they went with Frank Reich there.
Yeah,
okay. I said this in the group chat. Like, I can wear a headset and let one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time to just like call his own plays in the huddle. Like, give me a headset and that job and a quarterback like Tom Brady. I'll take that money.
Dave, remember that old?
You can make a couple. You can make a few $1 million doing that.
Remember that old game for PS2, Dave, where it was the NFL head coach and it came with the little headset and you called the plays.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Awful game.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great.
Absolutely. It was basically Madden that you didn't play Madden. You just called plays.
Yeah.
I mean that I think they targeted the wrong audience. I mean, who wants to be a head coach? You know what I mean? They just should have figured out a way to like make you.
Well, Josh McDaniels wants to be, but apparently he can't do it. So
Josh McDaniels, you go work at Burger King or something now.
He already knows how to work the headset.
Well, Bill Belichick will be looking for an offensive coordinator next year, so maybe he'll just bring him back.
I was going to say
back Matt Patricia.
I was going to say
Bill bring him back too. Again,
might be looking for a job, but he just signed an extension. Actually, Belichick. So there's that. All right, so that was mine and Jay's, and I agree. Adam, what is yours?
I gotta dunk on Arthur Smith again, man. This guy just continues every single week to just. Josh McDaniels is the worst head coach in football. Arthur Smith is very close up there at number 2. The way that they handled Desmond Ridder, I don't know if you guys saw it on the ticker in the game. If you were watching, it said that he cleared concussion protocol and was able to come back in the game. I never even knew he went out with a concussion. Nobody said anything. There was no injury update during the game or anywhere on the broadcast. And then after the game in the press conference, somebody asked him about it. He was like, yeah, we felt it in our best interest that we just, went with Taylor and blah, blah, blah. Talk about Taylor Heineke, by the way, who is starting this week because they benched Ridder, which they should have done from the beginning. But, Arthur Smith, man, just figure it out. You have Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Like, you have a decent team around you. Use your great players and stop with this fucking bullshit that you come up with every week in your press conferences.
Well, here's the thing. He's not.
That's all I got to say about that.
He's not going to change because he's first in his division.
Exactly.
So, I mean, he's winning. I mean, they're 500, but that's first the division in the NFC South. 500 is going to get them to the playoffs in the NFC South. So, and trust me, as a big, Bijan Robinson stan, of course I want them to unlock him. But like, he's just too conservative. I hate him too, so I agree. So definitely. All right, Dave, were you dunking on the Raiders? You got your own.
Oh, I'm dunking on the Raiders. You already know what's coming, and I hope that one of the people that I dunk on finally sees it and sees the episode, and I hope it's this week. Jimmy G, you fuck. You fuck. Get
handsome fuck.
Get in real close. It's a good thing that people think you're handsome because you can't throw a ball worth shit. This guy, I'm glad you got benched, by the way. I'm glad you lost your job. This motherfucker throws for 126 yards, 1 interception, loses me a parlay where I take you for over 200 yards. It should be like the easiest leg of a parlay ever. Jimmy G over 200 yards. How many times did he overthrow Adams in that game?
At least twice. I saw it twice. One on the sideline that was way out of bounds over his head.
On bombs.
And yeah, deep down the field, and he overthrew him by like 15 yards.
Not even close.
Mind blowing.
Jacoby Myers, 1 catch, 19 yards. Devontae Adams, 1 catch, 11 yards. This is absolutely ridiculous that you are an NFL quarterback. I'm glad you lost your job. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because we probably won't have to talk about him again for the rest of the season. But Jimmy G, get dunked on. You're trash.
Well,
I like it.
Well, that's
Well,
Love it.
not much to say about that. So I didn't make any new sound drops yet, but I'm for the news segments. But I'm working on them. I got some ideas. So we're gonna start since he wasn't here last week. So nobody knows Jay's new segment, but it's basically boils down to Mr. Grumpy Cat over there. Jay's segment is "fuck that guy." Jay, who's your guy this week?
so it's the first week, so I got a twofer. It's gonna one is gonna make you mad. It's gonna make you mad. Dave's probably gonna like it. But first, fuck this guy, Bijan Robinson. Fuck that guy.
Why are we fucking?
He's fucking trash.
How is he trash?
He hasn't had more than 13 points in over a month of games for he's 100% rostered. People probably expected him to be their number one running back. So at this point, you could find someone that's in a flex position that can get more than 13 points a week.
Daryl Henderson's got off the couch and put up 13 points.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 13 points is a good score for running backs right now. They're awful. Everyone is awful. So I'm fine with saying fuck him. I'm fine with saying fuck him.
If you're desperate for a flex, sure, but if you got someone else or a wide receiver, I would just not at this point trust Bijan to if you need points. And the second, fuck this guy, Miles Sanders too.
Oh, here, hang on.
Speaking of Miles Sanders, I'm going to butt in, and that is my fantasy graveyard pick of this week is Miles Sanders. Guys, get him out of your lineup. He lost the starting job to Chuba Hubbard last week. He only had 2 carries.
Yeah, 2 carries
for
0 points.
0 yards. 0 yards. I mean, Chuba Hubbard didn't have a great game either, but he got the bulk of the carries. He was in for majority of the snaps. Miles Sanders, you are my fantasy graveyard pick this week. Go ahead, Jay. Let's hear it.
Fuck that guy.
That's a great new segment. We skipped a segment, so Jay got it in, but we're going to backtrack here to our. Usually, we give you down the breakdowns of the week, but we're going to give you something different today. We're going to give you the breakdowns of the year so far. So here we go. Should be sharing screen. We got it. Okay. All right, so the breakdowns of the year so far for fantasy football, we are season total, as you can see right here, quarterback position. Your number one quarterback after, 9 weeks now? We're in the 9th week, so 8 weeks.
We're in week 9, going week 9.
So 8 weeks, so you're just halfway through the season. Your number one quarterback, as I said, is going to be Josh Allen, 193. Number 2, Jalen Hurts, 187. Number 3, some of that we could have dunked on this week, by the way, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
By the way, honorary dunk on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Number 4, Lamar Jackson at 161. Number 5, Tua Tagovailoa at 160. And by the way, in our Fantasy Football Bros League, I have Josh Allen, and Dave has Joe Dirte. Or that's Dave. Dave has Tua. And then Kirk Cousins is at 6. Rip. 7 is Justin Herbert. You guys ready for this fucking snooze fest? At 8, we got Sam Howell. At 9, we got Jared Goff. At 10, we have Brock Purdy. At 11, we have Russell Westbrook Wilson. At 12, we got Joshua Dobbs. And just outside at 13, we have Jay's quarterback, Jordan Love. And they're
your top 10 quarterback right there, big guy.
Yep.
Your top 12.
Hey, I got 3 quarterbacks that were in top 13, so
as much as Jordan Love isn't looking good, he's still a top 13 quarterback right now.
Real quick, shout out to Jay for believing in the Brock Purdy. I think Jay was the only one on Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
I think we gave him a hard
100%.
time about that one. And
Brock Purdy was falling off quick though.
He's fallen off quick, but as of right now, good call on Jay. I think he was the only one on Brock Purdy. We all gave him some shit about it, and he's sitting there in the top 10. So,
but Purdy's had 3 awful games in a row. So they're on the bye. I'm waiting to see how he comes back, but he's been awful. But all those guys are higher than Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Justin Fields. There's injury in there. We know. Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow is sitting here at 23. He's starting to ramp up. Joe Burrow has 4 more points than Mac Jones. Everybody, just
fucking embarrassing. Jesus Christ!
It's gonna be.
Hasn't been a great.
Come on,
season.
Dave.
Bounced back last week.
It's gonna be
good game last week.
It's gonna be fine, boys.
Joe,
I'm telling you. Watch Joey be in that.
Be in that
one. He's gonna be in that top 5 easy by the end of the season, guaranteed.
You know he has less points right now than Desmond Ridder. Just saying.
He also still has a starting job, so
True.
Desmond Ritter can suck it.
Right.
Very true. So there's your top.
Joey B gets the Bills this week.
There's your top quarterbacks. Let's check out your top receivers of the year so far. Any guesses who's 2-1? Who's won?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, yeah. Maybe CeeDee Lamb takes 2 right now after that game.
Tyreek. Chase has to be up there too. Let's see.
Got to be AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Yeah, there we
Brown,
go.
right.
Oh, Diggs. Let's go, baby.
Okay, so you got Hill at 211, AJ Brown at $1. AJ Brown at $1.83, Stephon Diggs at $1.72, Puka Nacua at 152, Jamar Chase at 149, Keenan Allen at 148. Wherever he's at 6. That's 6. 7 is DJ Moore at 143. And that's living off of one game, but still.
Yeah. He's falling hard.
He's got a couple, but Adam Thielen, surprisingly, at 7, right? 7.
It's my boy. Our boy,
got
Jay.
it. Yeah,
Adam Thielen. He's there.
Thielen's at 8.
There.
Amon-Ra St. Brown at 139. Still killer. Amon-Ra's great. CeeDee Lamb at 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so CeeDee Lamb's 10. Jordan Addison is 11. And Michael Pittman Jr. is 12, ahead of Devontae Adams. So then you got Devontae at 13, Evans at 14, Christian Kirk, surprisingly, at 15, McLaurin, and Jefferson, even though he missed 2 games, is still sitting at 15. So that shows you how he was on fire before he went out. So the top 15 is interesting, but nothing crazy, I think. Puka is crazy. Nobody even knew his name, obviously.
Nobody
Waiver wire wizard, bro. Waiver wire wizard. Let's go.
Tyreek Hill surprised me how good he's doing, to be quite honest. He really is. I did not expect him to be on this tear. So
I mean, he's at 1,000 yards already.
To be fair to my guys, Jamar Chase and Keenan Allen. If whatever I love those guys. Here's the difference. They're sitting there. Jamar Chase is at 5. Keenan Allen's at 6. Do you guys notice any difference about these 6 players? 8 games played, 8 games played, 8 games played, 8 games played. Jamar Chase and Keenan's played 7. So, right? I mean, they could be.
They had bye weeks. That's why.
So they could be 3 and 4 possibly right now if everything was equal. So they're still tearing it up. So I'm happy just to be happy and right about Keenan. Everybody knew Jamar would be good, but to be happy about Keenan. So there's your top running backs or top receivers. Okay, so who's the top 2 running backs, Jay? What do you think?
I have no idea. Running backs have.
That's why
McCaffrey is 1.
They're shit. Yeah, of course. Yeah, McCaffrey's 1.
I think 2.
Let's see number 2. Who would be number 2?
Because I don't know. I didn't preemptively look.
I don't know. I mean, it was. I don't know.
Who's been consistent enough or had big games enough to be number 2? Could it be Alvin Kamara?
I mean, Kamara's up there, but he missed the first 3 games, so he's probably sitting at like 6, maybe 5 right now.
And Jay, is Bijan a top 12 running back right now, you think?
Yeah, he's probably top 12.
Okay. I honestly think it's is it ATN?
Oh, you
might be ETN.
Yeah, it might be.
That's a good pull.
All right, let's see. He's right.
Yep.
So McCaffrey is 1, ETN is 2, Mostert is 3. Fucking
that one is surprising. That one is surprising to me.
Just like we all had it. Zach Moss top 5.
Zach Moss 4. One of my baby boys, DeAndre Swift at 5. Alvin Kamara 6. Walker 7. Kyren Williams at 8.
My guy, and he hasn't played in weeks.
Josh Jacobs at 9. Isaiah Pacheco at 10. Bijan Robinson at 11. Derrick Henry at 12. There's your top 12, followed closely by Brian Robinson. I just got shot in the ass. Devon A-Chain, who's been on fucking IR for 3 weeks.
He's still in the top 15.
And Brees Hall, who is just, starting to really get moving. Although I was going to mention that in the fantasy, I was going to call him a fantasy flop. Breece Hall, we're simping out over his big catch. He's had a good game last week, and I'm a Breece Hall starter in a different league. But Adam, do you remember his statistics for rushing the ball last week?
I don't know it off the top of my head, but I have it right here. I can pull it up for you.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me Breece Hall's. And this
against the Giants?
Yes. What are his
right? That's what they played?
Yeah, because I start him too.
He had 12 carries for 17 yards.
Yeah. So Breece Hall is living off of an explosive, talent right now, which is great. And that's great, but I did want to bring that up. I'm glad I've seen that.
Hey, but in a PPR league, catches are good, so yes, I'll take it.
I am worried about him in that sense because 12.
I mean, he had against Denver, he had 177 yards on the ground. So I mean, the big games are there, and against Buffalo, he had 127 yards as well.
So everybody start Joe Mixon this week, by the way. Joe Mixon.
Yeah, literally start Joe Mixon. Anybody from the Bengals is a safe bet.
And we'll just go over the tight ends real quick. Who do you think number one is?
No one cares about tight ends.
Hawkinson took over number one, I think.
You think Hawkinson took over Kelsey? Then
actually, that's close. Yeah. I'm going to go Hawkinson 1, Kelsey 2. Because Kelsey had a couple stinkers in there.
Then who's 3?
It's got to be...
Thomas.
No, it's Sam.
No way if he's 3.
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Sam Laporta.
Or Andrews.
He had a big game.
It's Kelsey. Wow. Kelsey 136, not even close. Hawkinson at 116.
Yeah, that's wild.
Laporta at 110. And then you got Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet, Dallas Goedert. There he is at 83 points.
Bosco.
Waller, Logan Thomas, Taysom Hill.
There's your boy.
And so whatever. So, but pretty much, the top 5 guys are in the top 5 spots. 2, 3, 4.
Minus Laporta, who
Waller's
is a rookie.
Waller's missed a few games. Waller, we considered a big 5. So
yeah, and he'll miss a couple more because of his hamstring.
4 of the top 5 guys
today.
People were right on, and Laporta's been a steal for people. So, all right, so there. Sure. Hell, let's go. Let's check it out since we're here. Top 10 kickers while we're here. Jake Elliott, Dustin Hopkins, Brandon McManus, Harrison Butker, Brandon Aubrey, Blake Grupe, Brett Maher, who was cut, right? Or did he get a job back? Matt Gay.
I don't know.
Nick Folk, Jake Moody.
Can I just
Here's
look
a question.
At where Justin Tucker is?
Look at where Justin Tucker is. So all these people that are drafting him in like the 8th, 9th, 10th round. He's below 4 players that are on the waiver wire right now.
Look at where Tyler Bass is too.
Yeah, right underneath. So here's your vote. Here's your advice from kickers don't fucking matter. The number 2 kicker, we'll say right here, Dustin.
Dave's got 2 top 5 kickers, so
it's true. Jay has the number 1 kicker. Good job, Jay. But I have the number 2 kicker, and guess what, guys? I picked him up 2 weeks ago because he's on free agency, and I was like, oh, he's doing good. Because that's how you get a good kicker. You don't have to fucking draft. My kicker is my last round pick all the time. Who do you think the number 1 defense is in fantasy football?
Niners.
Got to be Dallas.
No.
Dallas has a lot of touchdowns on defense.
I'm going with the Ravens. All right, let's see.
Bengals. This is Dallas still.
And the Raven. Okay, so the Dallas, I'm surprised by that, but you're right. They do have a lot of touchdowns. Buffalo, surprising. And then the Ravens.
That's a surprise.
And then the Ravens. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Seattle. That's surprising. Kansas City, Minnesota, Detroit, New York Jets, and the New Orleans Saints, and then Philly. And then remember everybody drafting San
Who's got the Saints defense?
Who? How dare you ask that question? Did you just ask that question?
That was the joke.
Did you just ask that question? So everybody, again, the people that run and grab San Francisco early and keep them and all this stuff, they are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. San Francisco is your 17th defense, everybody. Good job drafting them in the 10th round and wasting a valuable spot for your 57 points. Less than Tampa Bay's defense. Less than Detroit's defense, less than Cleveland's defense is pretty good, but less than Cleveland's defense. Just above Houston's defense. Good job, people, San Francisco people. So, all right. So there's your starters of the week, and that's going to bring me into my start of the week. And I got two for you. I just mentioned him in the last. You guys need to start Joe Mixon. I know it's crazy. I got a few names for you here, but Joe Mixon against the Bills, I'm adding him on because I forgot, but I told you last week, always start your running backs against the Bills. And start Joe Mixon against the Bills, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. I know he's probably been riding the pine for some of you guys, but especially now that that Burrow's playing better, start Joe Mixon. But that was a late add-on. So I actually had 3 ones specifically for you. But one of them is a tough one to agree with because your start of the week isn't supposed to be an elite guy, but Saquon Barkley is going to tear it up this week. This team has nothing coming in with the Giants. Saquon Barkley's going to touch the ball 40 times. So start Saquon. But and then the real deeper ones are I know it's a guy that I like, but he's been consistent. He's getting the targets. Romeo Doubs. There's a lot of bye weeks hitting. If you got Romeo Doubs to plug into your flex, I mean, the guy's got a touchdown, I'm thinking 3 games in a row. And Jay knows as a Christian Watson owner that Romeo Doubs is the number 1 target in Green Bay. Is he not, Jay?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So, and it is, but for you, Romeo, I mean, he's not lighting up the world.
That's
but
bullshit.
There's a chance that Romeo Doubs is going to have, 2 touchdowns maybe. So
Christian Washington to the graveyard.
Close.
He's getting close.
Very close. And then the actual big start of the week that you could probably find folks on waiver wire is the New Orleans Saints defense. Very good defense coming up against Tyler Bagent, whatever his name is, in the Chicago Bears.
Right.
If the Saints are out, whatever it is. If the Saints are out there, folks, go and track them down and start the New Orleans Saints defense. So no, you're not going to find Saquon Barkley. You're not going to find Joe Mixon, but you might find Romeo Doubs and you might find the Saints D. So those are Chazz's starts of the week, and we'll have a fancy ass drop for that soon anyway. So
Chazz, how bad did it hurt to see Gibbs do good this week?
Well, it was fine. He's going to do good. He's a good player, but the problem is
you hate him though. So
I don't hate him. I hate his head coach. So the problem is, as soon as his ribs are healed
the
up,
bye week's here. The bye week is here for Detroit, and David Montgomery will be back after the bye.
Didn't I ever tell you about Bumbles?
there it is.
And I think he's gonna go back to David Montgomery pounding the rock like he did before. And don't get me wrong, and it's a stupid play because Jahmyr Gibbs is just outstanding the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. But it's Dan Campbell we're talking about.
Yes, it is.
So
Bumbles bounce
all the way, baby. Let's go. All right, Adam. So how did you do?
Hey, guys.
You bailed your ass out on the last. Oh, by the way, my start of the week last week. We're not going to talk about that. But
yes, JSN was my value,
and it was
I also
shit.
had Jalen Warren in there.
It was shit until 49 minutes of the game left.
But that's what the value is, man. That last second touchdown, whoever put him in their lineup probably jumped up a couple spots. So my daily bargains this week, I have a twofer as well, but they play for the same team, and here's the reason why. The Minnesota Vikings just traded for Joshua Dobbs, who is not starting. We have no idea what Jaron Hall is going to do or how much they're actually going to throw. I know it sounds crazy, but Alexander Madison and Cam Akers are both right around the same price range, and I'm looking at FanDuel here, and Alexander Madison is $5,900, and Cam Akers is $5,500. I don't know how much they're going to throw, and they're playing the Falcons, so I think they might want to run the ball a little bit more. If you're looking for some value and you really kind of want to think outside the box here, look for both of those guys to kind of equal out in touches. The unfortunate thing for Madison owners is Cam Akers is getting the touchdowns, which is shocking to me. Not that Madison has been very good, but this week I have a feeling that they might run the ball a little bit here. So Those are my daily bargains. Let's go with those guys.
All right, fair enough. We're flying through our new segments here. All right, Dave, what is you? By the way, for Dave, let's give him a.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Because his Stone Cold lock was spot on last week. Taking what was it? The
Jacksonville Jaguars, baby.
0.5, right?
Yep, minus 2.5. We went against the spread. Fantasy Football Bros is 1-0. 1-0 in the gambling ring. Let's be honest, boys. How many of you guys took the lock of the week and made some dough?
I did. I certainly did. Wasn't much.
Okay.
It was definitely in my
producer of the year over here.
Well, guys, if you guys took the lock of the week last week and earned a little bit of dough, I want you to take that money and I want you to put it down on our new lock of the week because we're going 2-0. We are going to take the Washington Commanders +3 against the New England Patriots. And I'll tell you why.
I like this. I
like this play a lot, right? And I'm just going to start this out by saying I think you can go money line on this. I think Washington wins this game outright. But if you want to go safe, take the +3 points. And there's good reason here. This spread is completely convoluted, and based on the fact that we did get some trades at the deadline that don't really affect fantasy, but we've gotten some trades on the Washington side that is making this spread a bit soft, and also it's a home game for the Patriots. I would think if this was a 1:00 game in Washington easily walks into this with like maybe a -5.5 as the favorites. Because they're in New England, because these trades just happened, they're actually getting the points. So I'm saying Washington's the lock of the week. New England is 2-6 against the spread. They do not deliver. They just don't cover the spread for whatever reason. Howell's coming off his best game of the year. I look for him to repeat it. So yeah, bet the house on Washington +3.
I like it because they play better than they look. I mean, they gave Philly a run for their money.
Yeah, they gave Philly a run for their money. Yeah,
twice now.
Yeah,
that Philly almost lost to them.
Jay, do you know how to bet yet, Jay?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, do I know how to bet? Yes. Do I understand it? That's another thing.
That's what
we're trying to.
We have Dave.
That's what we're trying.
Dave's gonna help you bet.
It is tough. It is tough. The boys in Vegas know their stuff. I don't know how they come up with these lines, but yeah, they sure do know their stuff. It's actually incredible how close they come to picking these games all the time. But like I said, we're here to give you a lock of the week, so you don't have to think about it. So you just take that dough that you won on Jacksonville, you plop it right back down on Washington, and enjoy going 2-0.
That's right. And just gamble responsibly, guys. We're not telling you to actually go bet your house. Bet what you can and what you're comfortable losing.
Yeah, bet within your
means. That's what gambling is. So we're just here to give you some safe bets that you can earn a little bit of extra cash. Please don't put your mortgage up for collateral on a
Dave's lock of the week.
Chazz, I think we have to put the if you have a gambling problem and the number down here at the bottom now to make everything kosher.
Just on your screen, Dave.
It's like those commercials I hear at the end of it. It's like, gambling is addiction. If you have a problem, call anyone to do a gambling.
Throw that in there.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Boomhauer. All right.
Dave's gonna get sued. The podcast's gonna get shut down. They're gonna go into court and be like, "He gave me the lock of the week, and I lost my house."
We're gonna see in the headlines.
They can take me to court. I don't got nothing. They're not gonna get anything.
All right, guys. Well, since we went a little quicker on this episode.
How about them Bills, baby? Let's go. Hey,
they played 100% opposite of normal. They started off on fire and then became a bunch of fucking losers at the end of the game. That's my take from the Bills game last week. They started off great.
I agree.
Josh was running. Josh was slanging. We build a fucking big lead, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, guys. Okay, hey, I'm Sean McDermott. Okay, guys. No, don't throw it. No, Josh, you might throw an interception. No, Josh, you might hurt yourself. Just hand it to Cook. 3 yards.
Do we have Sean McDermott on the podcast today?
And punt it.
Hey, we were already winning. Like, we don't want to score more points than we need to. So like we can't bury a team. That's just, that's
I've been saying it, guys, and I've been teasing it, and I've been teetering, and I've been like on the fence, but it's been brewing. But I am officially done with Sean McDermott. I want him out as the Bills head coach. I would even be happy if they fired him tomorrow. I am so done with this fucking bullshit, like conservative fucking 1942 play where this motherfucker, and Ken Dorsey is part of him. Ken Dorsey, he got hired by Ken Dorsey. So this motherfucker takes the foot off the gas. It comes from him. Ken Dorsey, that's his hire. We take the foot off the gas. We lose the fucking game. How many fucking times are we going to line up on 4th and 1 and go, and waste the timeout? How many fucking times are we going to do that?
I said the same thing in the stands. I was like, how many times are we going to try this fucking bullshit? It didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second time. It didn't work the third time. I'm pretty sure they're caught on by now.
And here's the kicker. Pun intended. Here's the kicker. Sean McDermott got bailed out by having a pretty good punter in Sam Martin. Sam Martin buried him a few times. Great punts.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. Those punts should have never happened. And this is when I officially was done with Sean McDermott. Jay, you're not the biggest Gabriel Davis fan. We know that, but did he have a really good game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair, right? Jay, we've talked about getting Khalil Shakir the ball more. Did he have a really good game?
Yes.
Okay. Jay, Stephon Diggs, he wasn't setting the world on fire, but didn't he have a pretty good game?
Yes.
Okay, so that means Josh Allen looked the best he's looked in weeks. Am I right?
Yep.
So Sean McDermott, you piece of shit pussy, you walk into the press conference. All right, look at me in the eyes, Bills fans. Sean McDermott walks into the fucking press conference, and the first player that this fucking pussy talks about after all those big names is he says, oh man, I really want to give some credit to Sam Martin, our punter. He really helped us out. So our head coach, after a fucking quarterback and all our young receivers just tear it up, this fucking pussy head coach wants to thank the punter.
Not you, Pickles. Not you, Pickles.
This conservative fucking... Tell him, Pick. Come on. Tell him. What do you think? It's just
that face says it all.
Yeah.
How do you come in after that game and the first person you call out's the punter to thank? I'm done. That was it. I am done. I don't fucking care. Hire Josh McDaniels. I'm just so fucking done.
God, please don't do that.
Yeah, please don't.
Give me Arthur Smith right now, please. Come on. What the
So I have a question too. So how come like in the NFL they have this whole thing was like, oh, we can't like, and it's most teams have it. They're like, oh, we can't bury another team that's like unsportsman. But in fucking college, dude, the one game over the weekend they put up like 60 points. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But we're a touchdown over another team. We're like, all right, let's slow it down. We don't want to get too ahead of them.
Yeah, it's because it's called a bullshit fucking conservative head coach. That's what it is.
Unless you're Mike McDaniel, who buries teams by 50 points. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, there's a couple of coaches that do it, but for the majority of them, like a lot of coaches are like, oh, we can't, put up too many points.
So yeah, he's in the graveyard for me. I'm done with him. I'm going to tell you, Bills fans, Mafia, right now, we will never win a Super Bowl with Sean McDermott. Dave, Adam, Jay, name me the last defensive-minded head coach not named Bill Belichick to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Great. I don't know.
Hicka.
That's a great question. You stumped us.
Are we looking at what, Mike Tomlin 13 years ago?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe you can say John Harbaugh, but he's a little like special teams, little offense. Let's talk about the last 5 Super Bowl winners and tell me if they're defense. Kansas City Chiefs. What's Andy Reid?
Offense.
Okay. And before that, it would have been Sean McVay.
Offense.
Oh shit. Okay. And before that, it would have been Andy Reid.
Offense.
Fuck. Oh shit. Okay. And before that, it would have been what? Doug Peterson.
Offense.
Oh shit. Oh, actually, I skipped a year. And then after Doug Peterson, it would have been Bruce Arians.
Just
I think he's more defense, right?
Oh,
No, or
Bruce
is he an
Arians is
offensive coach?
He's an offensive guru.
I don't know.
So let's also break this down. Okay. Andy Reid. Chiefs played the Eagles, right? Eagles head coach. Offense or defense? Offense.
Isn't that?
It's offense.
Yeah.
It's offense. The year before, Rams versus Bengals. Bengals head coach. Offense or defense?
Offense.
Offense. Oh shit. The year before that, Chiefs versus Buccaneers. So that's offense versus offense, right? Oh shit. Yep. The year before that, Chiefs versus Kyle Shanahan. What is Kyle Shanahan? Offense? What? And the year before that, Peterson against Belichick. Oh, okay. But Bill Belichick with fucking Tom Brady. So, guys, it's done. It is done for these defensive head coaches. It's done. It's over with. It is over with.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I've said for a while now that I think the Bills are good enough with Sean McDermott to get into the playoffs
consistently. Yeah.
But
to win.
But they're not going to go much farther than that. It's proven, I think, because we don't really make it out of the first or second round. So,
right.
So that's my. I mean, I get my Sean McDermott rant. He's dead to me. Me and Jay kind of focused on last week's game. So why don't you two start the preview of this week's game for the Bills? So we got the Bills. We got the Bills versus Joey B. Joey B's hot right now, and Josh Allen's woke up too. Now he's finally woke.
So this game is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. This is the first time we're back in Cincy since the Damar Hamlin injury. So I'm guessing emotions are going to be pretty high when they step on the field. But I do think that both of these offenses can roll. I'm hoping for a shootout. I really am. I want to see like a 35-40 game or something. Both of the defenses struggle, and I do think Joe Burrow's coming on. I think he's back. I think he's healthy. I mean, it's really hard to give the edge to one or the other, because they both have really – I mean, I would give the edge to the receivers on the Bengals, obviously. But as far as team overall, I think they're very even.
All right, Dave. So what is, do you know offhand? I'm sure you can find it. What's your spread on this game, and how do you think it's going to break down?
So, I mean, I hate to be this guy, but I really I know there's going to be a lot of emotion with us going back, but I feel like we're going to have a hard time going into Cincinnati and taking this win. As of right now, Bills are +2, and I'm hoping for a shootout. I think we are going to get that shootout. I think it's going to be a really close game. I mean, it's obvious that Vegas agrees this is going to be a super close game. I do think we get that shootout where we get a great game that's, 31-34 maybe, but I think the edge here has to go to the Cincinnati Bengals defense, which from a fantasy perspective has not been great, but from an actual just NFL perspective is a lot better than advertised. We're going in on the road. It's going to be a hostile situation after they do the, what they're going to do for Damar Hamlin. After that, it's going to be crazy. And I just, everything that we talked about with Sean McDermott, he's going to have to go in there with some balls to win this game. There's going to be situations where it
has to be aggressive.
It's 4th and 2, and we have to go for it because the Bengals are going to score points. We talked about starting Mixon. The Bills' run defense is going to have a hard time containing him. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm a casual Bills fan. I'm still a Bills fan, but I have a hard time believing that we go into Cincinnati and pulling out this win, unless Josh is just absolutely just out of his mind.
He might have to play the best game of his life on Sunday.
It's possible, but we're going into Cincinnati. You're right. All the emotions. A night game, Sunday night game. Jay, what happened last time? Jay, what happened last time the Bengals and the Bills squared off? I believe you were there.
Yeah, it was.
What happened? Was it close?
No, it was brutal.
It was absolutely awful, and we were at full staffed then. We still had Trey White.
Yep.
We still had we had better receivers because we've downgraded. So I don't like the only thing I hold hope for this game is that maybe Joe Burrow's still a little banged up. I mean, he played San Francisco well, but San Francisco's been ass lately. So maybe San Francisco's bad and Joe Burrow beat a bad team and he's still kind of hurt and we can get to him. That's my hope.
Maybe.
Only you need to be better, Von Miller. You need to be better. You need to be.
They need to actually play him too. Like last game, I think like he didn't even play.
I haven't seen. I
don't think he played the first half.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Like they held him out until like the end, and I was like, we're like, why is he? We're playing him when we're already up by like 2 touchdowns at that point or whatever we were up by. It's like, why bring him in now? Like we should be bringing him in when we don't have the lead, and then we can play him when we finally have the lead.
Yeah, it's infuriating, and maybe they're gonna fucking unlock the fucking team, and they're gonna start storming. But I don't know. I don't
think so.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go into this game with some balls. You're gonna have to let Josh play. You're gonna have to be
aggressive. He has to be aggressive. Yeah.
Well, actually, I have
no conservative against the Bengals. You can't be conservative.
I have live locker room, like in the Bills coaches meeting room coverage right now. All right. There's Josh. I see Josh. I see Ken Dorsey. Oh, it looks like McDermott's gonna talk. All right, guys, who brought the balls?
I will say the first time that Sean McDermott showed any balls is they asked him after that game about the shitbag cornerback. Can't even think of his name because he sucks so bad.
Grapple.
And
Kyer Elam.
Yeah, Elam. Oh. And he was like, he goes, well, we need players that can help us win.
Good.
That's basically all he said, which I thought was pretty funny.
And we didn't even mention it. The trade for Shul Douglas, I was surprised with. That's a good trade. I mean, that's a solid player. Yeah. That's a very solid.
I agree.
Speaking of the trade deadline, so it's gone. We didn't really do much. Do you think this team can make the playoffs potentially and go farther than they did last year with the roster that we have now compared to last year?
I think they can make the playoffs. And there's always a chance we do good just because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen is that kind of magical quarterback that can do it, just like Pat Mahomes. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't a good team. They have fucking Travis Kelce and they have Patrick Mahomes. We have Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So, like, it could happen, but the only difference is they've got a fucking offensive wizard as their head coach, and we've got a conservative pussy as our head coach.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. They find a way to make it work with those two guys. We can't find a fucking way to make it work with a whole slew of wide receivers. So,
but yes, I mean, they're not dead if Josh Allen goes on a magical run, but that's the only way. If we play conservative, no chance. Yeah. Unless you're going to start, unless their big plan is that the winter's coming and save Josh's arm a bit and fucking run Leonard Fournette into the ground and take him behind the shed and put a bullet in him at the end of this year. Hey, fine. If that's what you're going to do, then do it. Because that's the type of back that you could use that for. And Leonard Fournette bruising, running into you, like hurting you in the cold winters in Buffalo, and then you're tired and you're hurt, and then all of a sudden James Cook comes through the middle, gone. Like, that's a perfect signing for the Bills. Everybody thinks that the Bills should have a running back like James Cook, and they should. But they need a running back like Leonard Fournette, too.
Yeah.
That's why it's perfect. And Harris was supposed to be that guy, but thankfully he's okay, but he's out for the year.
Yeah.
And I hate just... Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I still can't get my head around how good we looked in, like, that first half, and then how your offense can just be that good, and then totally just nothing. It's mind-boggling.
I got Timothy Frog here. Wrong one, but that works.
Mind-boggling, isn't it?
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I will say, unfortunately, everything that we want that we're talking about them, we wanting them to be more aggressive and be more cutthroat. I do think they're actually going to go the other way to start this game. I do think they go into Cincinnati and they play even more conservative, because what happened, they let Josh loose a little bit in the first part of that game, and he ended up, what happened? He hurt his shoulder, right?
Well, it was already hurt before that, though. So I mean,
yeah, but he re-injured it, right? So in McDermott's head, he's like, "Oh, see, we let him off the leash, and he's gonna get hurt." Like I just feel like they're gonna pull him back even further and try to start this game off even more conservative than normal.
But that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. And that's not going to win you a game. You have to be aggressive from the get-go, and because Cincinnati's going to come out and they're going to be aggressive from the get-go, and they have the best receiver in the league, one of the best receivers in the league, and a pretty good running back. And we know we talk shit about.
Oh, he's going to look like a fucking superstar this week.
He might be the top running back of the week.
I'm putting my money down.
Let him.
Top 5 this week in fantasy football. Joe Mixon. Top 5 this week. Start him if you got him. I personally did too. I have him in just one league, and he's been riding.
I mean, but, Saquon didn't do that much against us, so
Saquon was just coming off an injury, so I did, but he still did all right. He still had like 15 points.
Yeah,
it's his first game coming off an injury. Joe Mixon, start him. I specifically I've had him benched for a while. I took out James Cook and put in Joe Mixon in my lineup this week, guaranteed. Joe Mixon, top 5 running back this week. That's guaranteed. So hopefully you guys like the new way we're doing things. I thought, honestly, boys, this was a great episode. We got through the topics quickly and concisely, and good job, fellers.
There's a little bit more flow to it now. I
Figuring out, we're being better, more professional.
Yes.
We're doing big things, boys. We're doing big things.
We're moving up. We can only go up from here.
Right. So we're gonna end it here because I got a lot of editing to do. I wanna publicly thank Dave for helping out with some of the stuff. We got some new graphics and everything. That's awesome, Dave. Appreciate that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We're be on the lookout, boys. We're doing stuff. We're doing big things.
We're trying. Make sure you find our YouTube where you can find the video. Obviously you're listening to the audio possibly on Spotify and iTunes and iPhones and dang it, Androids. Well, Android podcast is going away. If you guys didn't know, Android podcast is going away, but it's going to be on YouTube now. So just fair warning to any Android listeners, but we are on Spotify and all that stuff too. And check out the TikTok. Everything is on the TikTok. We get a lot of love on the TikTok. I'm gonna start trying to do more TikTok stuff. I just need to get off my ass and do shit. So, Jay, as a little injury note.
Oh my God! They've killed Kenny! You bastards!
But it looks like Kenny Pickett's gonna play. So your wife must be thrilled.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he said for sure he was playing. So.
All right, everybody. Well, Jay, thank you for joining us. I know I kept you up late. You hate it, but you're the man. You're a trooper. We love you.
Yep.
By the way, at home, folks, Jay is a crazy man, and he picked up his 3rd dog. So that's pretty wild.
You're out of your mind.
Are they all the same breed?
Yeah, they are. Aren't we all a little crazy?
What are they? I mean, they're all
wrong.
They're all Australian Shepherds.
They're all beautiful. We'll have to get them on the podcast some days. Well, thank you for joining us, Jay.
Yep.
Adam, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Join
us to be here
for the fantasy football. I'm still going to.
We didn't really take any time away, but I just did it simultaneously now.
You might be seeing some TikToks with me and Adam in Nashville this month if I can get it to work. We're going to figure it out. Thank you for joining us, Adam.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Dave, before I let you go, we started to have a chat, Mr. Dave.
We did, and I forgot to bring it up, but this is serious business here. This is serious business.
Let everyone at home know your bullshit food opinion.
Okay, let's set the scene because before
you're going to say this to the chef.
Yeah,
before Adam, wait for this, bro.
Before we started this podcast, Chazz he's a busy guy. He was eating his dinner, which was what? Dry cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon toast crunch out of the box.
Very diabetes friendly.
we got into a discussion about what I like to call milk broth, and I am team no milk broth. Do you guys at home, you guys listening, you got Jay, Adam, do you guys drink the milk after you finish your cereal?
Yeah.
Immediately in the drain.
Come on, in the drain.
Immediately in the drain.
Immediately in the drain. That's
I don't care
disgusting.
if the Cocoa Puffs turn into chocolate milk. It's going in the drain.
In the drain. Team,
I do.
No milk broth.
I'm like
the only thing. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm like 90% down the drain. I take like I'll like 2 spoonfuls of the milk, and then I'm like, all right, I dump it.
Chaz, you are alone, bro.
The only thing that I do is I will have a bowl of cereal and I will have my milk and I will eat the cereal and I will pour like a little top layer of cereal as just a little, you don't just need that little extra cereal, right? And then everything else goes in the drain.
Right in the drain,
the
bro.
Only thing.
But here's the thing too. Are you does everyone here actually like milk, or are you guys like, I don't really care about milk?
I don't drink milk unless it's in my cereal.
Okay, so
I only drink it when I take a spoonful and it happens to be on the spoon with my cereal.
Dave, do you drink milk?
I mean, I'm like, if I had a preference, like I would just drink regular milk instead of cereal broth.
I don't drink milk at all. You'll never catch me with a glass of milk. Like
I was gonna say, like I don't like milk except for like in like something like cereal or something. So I mean,
I never drink milk, but I always drink the milk for my cereal. You guys are fucking nuts. You're crazy, folks at home. I'm sorry.
You're fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm sorry for subjecting you to these fucking madmen.
No way, dude. No way.
Down the drain, buddy.
Down the drain.
Straight down the drain.
I'm going to make 3 t-shirts that just
3
say
against 1.
Team no milk broth. And you
no
are
milk
broth.
Go
down,
no
bro.
Way. Straight down the drain, bub.
Well, what are your thoughts at home? Please let us know your milk take after you enjoy your breakfast cereal, or for me, dinner cereal. I'm a chef, I got a lot of things going on, so I need cereal dry for dinner. All right, everybody. Thank you for checking out the podcast. The song of the week, since I want the Bills to leave and separate from Sean McDermott, we're going to go with the cover of Separate Ways by Chris Daughtry and Lizzie Hale. So... kick-ass heavy Journey song. So, all right, everybody, thanks for checking out the podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time. Peace.
See you later, guys.
Later, guys.
Team milk, no milk broth for life.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.